now. Live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Get under the table, get under the table. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
A powerful 7.1 earthquake rocked Southern California last night. It hit in Ridgecrest, just west of Bakersfield, but its impact was felt for hundreds of miles. This here's what happened at the state line in Prim. Someone caught a glimpse of that huge roller coaster at Buffalo Bill's swaying. This is terrifying. There were cars on it at the time, but it's not clear if anyone was in them. And here's what it looked like inside Aliante Station in the Northwest Valley. This was more than 200 miles from that epicenter, but you can see those lights were swinging back and forth for several minutes last night. And good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Sasha Loftus. This is a look at what last night's earthquake left behind, a massive crack on the surface in Southern California. We have team coverage on this tonight with reaction from visitors on the Strip in downtown, but we start with Orko Manna, who's in Southern California, near the area hit hardest by this earthquake. Orko.
Good evening, Sasha. We are here in Ridgecrest, California, right near the epicenter of last night's 7.1 magnitude earthquake. And we got here just a couple of hours ago, and I can tell you the atmosphere here is a little bit chaotic, but thankfully there is some help. Right now, I'm standing in front of the community center here, which is right next to the police department. And tonight it's serving as sort of a disaster relief center. Now take a look at this video. This is video from inside. The Red Cross has been extremely busy the past couple of days assisting the people who live out here in Ridgecrest. They actually set up this center after the 6.4 magnitude earthquake that hit on the 4th of July. But they really started to see things pick up last night and today, again after last night's 7.1 magnitude earthquake. One volunteer tells me they currently have about 370 people registered to receive services, but only about 80 of them stayed overnight last night. They are providing shelter and cots for people who need a place to sleep. They're also giving out water, meals, and comfort kits, just really whatever is needed. And we actually spoke to a local woman who is using these resources at the community center. She lives in a mobile home here in Ridgecrest, and here's how she described last night's event.
I was sitting at home, just woke up from a nap, and the next thing I know, the whole place just started rocking and swaying. Things are falling off the walls, out of my shelves, out of my cupboards, and I could barely get up to walk out the door.
Yeah, definitely a pretty scary situation for a lot of people who live out here. Now, this is video of volunteers loading water and disaster relief supplies into trucks. They are driving them out to the town of Trona, which is another area hit pretty hard by these earthquakes. And the governor of California has announced that there is a state of emergency in this area of California. But the good news is that there have been no reports of any deaths or any major injuries. We, of course, are going to stay out here in Southern California and bring you the latest. Another live report coming up tonight at 6. For now, reporting live in Ridgecrest, California, Orko Manna, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Orko. And in a press conference this morning, city leaders in Ridgecrest shared that while there was some significant damage, as Orko mentioned, they are glad things weren't worse.
It's hard for the world to know what we've been through because by the grace of God, we've had no casualties and we've only had minor injuries.
Pretty fortunate there. As Orko mentioned, the city has opened an emergency shelter for anyone who needs it. According to the mayor, they've also had reports of people looting from damaged businesses. Looking ahead, experts hope this event helps cities prepare for something even bigger.
Things are catching on fire, roads are being damaged, and we haven't heard much about water, but power has been out. So those are all big concerns, and I think we need to learn lessons from this earthquake and apply them so we're better prepared when there's a major earthquake.
Well, the earthquake here at home rattled the Las Vegas Valley last night and really scared some tourists. 8 News Now reporter Kristen Drummond joins us live now on Fremont Street after speaking with some visitors today. Kristen.
Sasha, all is calm now here on Fremont Street. No injuries or damages reported, but that earthquake definitely shaking some people up last night. A few telling me they were out gambling when all of a sudden the table started to move, the lights above them began to sway. Others were walking around here and even relaxing in their hotel room before going out last night.
I felt it shake, and I thought maybe somebody banged a cart or something outside in the hallway. And then when I stood up, I looked out the window. Everybody's down on Main Street still, and I felt the floor shaking.
I kind of started feeling weird, so I was like looking at my fiance like, what the heck's going on? And then I see the chandelier like swaying, and it lasted for a really long time, so it was just like out of nowhere.
It was like something I never felt before in my life. It really has shook the building.
That earthquake definitely adding to visitors' Vegas experience. Some even telling me that was the first time they ever felt an earthquake in their life. Now, coming up at 6, we speak with a general manager at a local restaurant here on East Fremont Street. She tells us how that earthquake definitely shook some fear into her guests, some running away to find some safety, and we'll tell you exactly where they went coming up in the next hour. Reporting live, Kristen Drummond, 8 News Now.
All right, Kristen, and now to the Strip. This was the scene outside the Strat after the valley started rocking last night. Guests at the hotel said they felt the building sway and ran outside, terrifying. No damage was reported, but those staying there still were a little shaken. Bianca Holman joins us live now from the Strip tonight with more on what visitors felt there. Bianca.
Hey, good afternoon, Sasha. We talk with people from all over the world, from Canada to England, and many of them tell us that this was their first experience ever in an earthquake.
We were in the Outback restaurant having a meal, and it just started to shake, didn't it?
All the drinks started shaking.
And the lights started swinging.
Yeah, and people started going under the table, and we didn't know what was going on.
We just went into our Jeep, we're sitting down, and it started rocking back and forth, and we thought it was Dad here, John. He said, stop doing that, stop fooling around. He goes, no, it's not me. Well, who's doing that? And it was like, it was intense. It was like, we didn't like it.
My mom texted me this morning. She's like, let me know you're alive.
Well, I want to get out of here before anymore.
I'm ready to go home and start up those packages that they do to get ready, because honestly, like, since there was one 2 days ago and then there wasn't yesterday, so hopefully there's not one today. That'd be crazy. Oh, heck no.
And so, of course, you can just hear a wide variety of experiences from various people. And again, most of them just happy that there was no structural damage or it didn't impact their trip in a major way. So again, lots of people having this be their first experience ever in an earthquake. Reporting live, Bianca Holman, 8 News Now.
Definitely unsettling. Thank you, Bianca. And when it comes to keeping our roads safe, NDOT sent us this statement here. Quote, the department works hard to prevent its infrastructure system from failing. Nevada as a state has the best rated bridges and roads in the country. In addition to being built to withstand seismic events, Nevada's roads and bridges are all fairly new, end quote. The department also says it works with law enforcement to run emergency scenarios. The last one was done in 2016. MGM Resorts also reported that none of its properties were damaged during last night's quake, but it did happen during a Las Vegas Aces game at Mandalay Bay. The remainder of that game was postponed. Then at the Thomas & Mack, sold-out NBA Summer League games were canceled. But today, things got back to normal. Let's check in with John Treach, who joins us live from the arena tonight. John.
That's right, Sasha. The epicenter of basketball in July is not far from the epicenter of that 7.1 earthquake that affected last night's opening night of Summer League basketball. But as you can see, a sellout crowd is not to be deterred in Las Vegas. There are thousands of people here for the afternoon sessions and the highlight game of Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Washington Wizards at 7 p.m. in the Thomas & Mack Center. We'll have about 18,000 people at that game. And there are even locals here and people visiting locals here who could not be denied an opportunity at Summer League. I'm with my two friends here, Andrew and Bryson, and you're from Idaho visiting. You came just for the Summer League. Did last night's events affect you coming at all?
No, we flew all the way down. We had bought the tickets, so we weren't about to give up.
And Bryson, you felt it in Overton, right? But you're a professional autograph seeker, a big hoops fan. What's it like to be here among the sellout crowd?
It's amazing, you know, we got some rookies playing, you know, they're really good. You just got to watch these players play, just enjoying it.
And you felt the earthquake there and you were watching the games. What was your initial reaction?
I was in like a rocking chair, so I could like feel the chair rock, so it's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, that's better than, of course, seeing the scoreboard sway and the speaker sway and even feeling it on the floor as the players did last night. And we'll hear from some of those players coming up in sports. Reporting live from the Thomas & Mack Center, John Treach, 8 Sports Now.
Yeah, definitely a scene there last night. Thank you, John. So if a major event were to hit the valley, how prepared are first responders? They say they train for everything.
Sometimes there are fires, sometimes there could be high-angle rescues, sometimes there could be people trapped in confined spaces. So all the fire departments here in the valley have a wide range of abilities, and they train all the time.
Of course, that training usually comes in during the most severe disasters. And while these tremors we felt haven't been significant, the message from all departments, the same. Everyone needs to have a plan in case something does happen. Well, let's get to Sally Jaramillo now. So I think the big question, Sally, is if we can expect more of this. Now, I have heard that we could experience some aftershocks here.
That's right, Sasha. Having a plan and an emergency bag ready is key, as we do expect some aftershocks here, of course, within the next couple of days, probably.